Ladies and gentlemen, put your dancing boots on. It's time for Billy Bowles Swinging Country on KSSL, a truly authentic country music radio program, bringing you the official music of Texas Western Swing and the very best in real traditional country music, Western and country gospel by today's independent artists, with lots of fiddles and steel because dang, we love the twang. And of course, now and then a good touch of the classics. Billy Bowles, winner of the coveted Academy of Western Artists Will Rogers Award for Disc Jockey of the Year 2012, inducted into the prestigious Cowtown Society of Western Music Heroes Hall of Fame, and Disc Jockey of the Year 2013, inducted into the Elite Northwest Western Swing Music Society Hall of Fame in 2014, inducted into the Texas Western Swing Hall of Fame 2015. And now, here's Billy Bowles, coming to you from 107.3, 94.1, and streaming around the world at KSSLFM.com.
Lord, I love to hear Hank Williams sing. And there's a lot of lefties now with different names, but it'll never be the way it was before. Take me back to yesterday once more. How I miss old Tex, those days were good, and nobody else could sing like Jim Reeves could. Red Foley's gospel songs touch my heart. Take me back to yesterday once more, when they sang, "You're cheating hard and always late, and there'll be peace in the valley someday." High noon, rye whiskey, four walls to hear me. Take me back to yesterday once more. Johnny Horton sang a country song so fine, and there'll never be another Patsy Cline. And how I miss Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. Take me back to yesterday once more, when they sang, "You're cheating hard and always late, there'll be peace in the valley someday." North to Alaska, San Antonio Rose. Take me back to yesterday once more. Take me back to yesterday once more.
Well, howdy do, friends, and welcome to a very special edition of Swingin' Country. We got that started with Yesterday Once More, Ken Goldsmith. Ken Goldsmith is an incredible singer and also the owner and proprietor of a couple of great businesses I want to tell you about. He owns Mudsmith Drilling Fluids Company there in Midland and Snyder, and they have immediate openings for CDL truck drivers in both cities. You need to have your hazmat and tanker endorsements, must be at least 21, clean driving record, clean criminal record, in good health, and they will pay you well. They have 401k savings, group health insurance, scheduled time off. Apply in person at 1309 West County Road 114 in Midland, Texas, or email your resume to Ken Goldsmith at mudsmith.com. And also that same address, 1309 West County Road 114, Midland, Texas, is the address to the most incredible recording studio on this side of the planet. Absolutely nothing compares between Nashville and Los Angeles. Right smack in the middle is Midland, Texas. Ken spared no expenses making this the best of the best. As he says, a world-class oasis in the desert recording studio. Check it out online, mudrockstudio.com. Also, NashvilleOnTheBrazos.com. They handle everything, music recordings, videos, publishing, marketing, and distribution. That's 432-687-6837. Okay, folks, today we're doing a very special tribute to Erik Leon Rausch. And it's one of those shows that Leon's been a very personal friend of mine since 1976, and we're going to cover an awful lot about him today. But right now, here is West Texas Town, Coby Carter.
I'm on my way to Amarillo. I can't seem to get my fill of that little West Texas town. I've got a sweet thing built right, Betty, head to toe. She's mighty pretty, living in that West Texas town. Friday comes, it's time to roll, time for me to hit the road. I've got my eyes on the horizon, my little dish in that panhandle lights up like a Roman candle when I reach that West Texas town.
From Big Spring all the way to Plainview, I can't wait to get to you-know-who in that West Texas town. I'd drive through hell and half of Texas just to get to her by breakfast, waiting in that West Texas town.
Friday comes, it's time to roll, time for me to hit the road. I've got my eyes on the horizon, my little dish in that panhandle lights up like a Roman candle when I reach that West Texas town. Baby, turn the porch light on,
Your big papa's coming home
to that West Texas town.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was West Texas Town. Coby Carter, joined by Jody Nix there, and fine job on that song. And joining me right now is Coby Carter. And Coby, we're welcome to Swinging Country, first of all.
Thank you.
It's great to have you back. Well, we're talking on happy notes and sad notes at the same time. We're paying tribute today to a friend I know is a friend of both of us and a hero, Mr. Leon Rausch. And I know you worked with him some. And what's on your heart? What would you like to say?
Well, I tell you what, Leon was a good friend of mine, and you know, I had the honor of standing behind him on stage for I don't want to say a lot of years, but several times. As I was a developing musician, I guess you could say, I kind of started Larry Scott. I guess it kind of all goes back to Joe Rhodes and Larry Scott and Tommy Allsup even. One of the first times I played with the Texas Playboys was at the Lincoln County Cowboy Symposium, and I was 9 years old, and it kind of kicked off from there, you know. And every time that they were around or pretty close to the area, Tommy or somebody would call me and say, hey, come sit in with us, you know, and I would. And there's I don't think any of us have enough time to tell all the stories about those guys, but there's one in particular that comes to my mind that I think kind of talks about the kind of person Leon was, you know, as far as having a good sense of humor. We were at a street dance one time in Lovington, New Mexico, which is only about an hour and a half from me. So they called me and said, hey, come down, and I did, and we were playing that street dance. And Leon had this little out of a little squeeze deal that made a fart noise.
Yeah,
and
pooter tooters.
He thought that was the funniest thing in the world. So me and him, I couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 10 or 12 or so. It was on my birthday, I remember, in Lovington. So that was even kind of special. But we were playing around with that thing before the show, and then, between songs or between lines of him singing, he was back there squishing it at me, and we were just having a good old time. But he was always very welcoming to me, and it was always just such a great time being around him. I felt like family with him and Tommy both, and there's just, like I said, there's not enough time for all the stories about those guys, but they're going to be greatly missed, and they both made a huge impact, not only on my life, but lives of everybody, musicians, fans, friends. So, like I said, I don't really know what else to say about him, but he'll be missed for sure.
Absolutely. And I want to also point out that on Friday, June the 21st, it kicks off on Thursday, June the 20th, you will be appearing at the 32nd Annual Legends of Western Swing Music Festival in Wichita Falls, Texas at the Multipurpose Events Center. And real quickly, how are you feeling about that?
Oh, we're super excited. This will be our second year there, and man, I tell you, you just can't find a better bunch of people to work with, and Gloria and Melinda and Beth and all the staff that helps put that event on. It's just such a great venue with a great bunch of people and great fans and dancers to boot. And I mean, not only that, it's an incredible lineup, so we're just feel very honored and privileged to be back again this year as part of that.
Well, great. And you can check it all out at thelegendsofwesternswing.com. Well, thank you so much, Coby. I've got so many interviews to do today. I apologize for it being so quick, but I know that you and me and everybody's going to forever miss Leon Rausch, but boy, we sure got a lot of his music to enjoy from now on.
That's exactly it. Thanks again for having me on there, Billy.
I heard someone out poking fun at this country boy and the songs that he sung.
Still cracking jokes, he sarcastically implied. Let me guess, your girl's gone and your dog just died.
I said, hey, that's what I like about a country song, where somebody done somebody wrong.
Not just something that is understood by those high rollers out in Hollywood.
It's about real folks living real life with real problems like an old ex-wife. You agree with the boys and me, then sing along.
That's what I like about a country song.
Some like to rock,
some like to roll, some like it fast,
and some like it slow. If you're left or right down the middle,
everybody stops to listen when the bow hits a fiddle.
It's music for the rich or poor,
hot mamas driving to the grocery store,
all the farmers,
the doctors, the truckers, and the teachers,
the young punks and old drunks, even Church of Christ preachers.
Praise the Lord.
That's what I like about a country song, where somebody done somebody wrong.
Not just something that is understood by those high rollers out in Hollywood.
It's about real folks living real life with real problems like a future ex-wife. You agree with the boys and me, then sing along. That's what I like about.
That's what I like about. That's what I like about a country song.
God bless Billy Mata for this special tribute to Tommy. Any musician who's been around for a while knows who Tommy Duncan was, especially old-timers like me. I met Tommy in 1960 after he rejoined the Bob Wills Band after 12 years. They say Bob and Tommy had had some professional differences in 1948. So Liberty Records brought them together to do an album, and they called it Together Again. And I got the chance to sing with Tommy on a couple of cuts on this album, and was to me a chance of a lifetime to get to sing with my biggest hero of them all. This to me was the biggest deal of my career. Billy Mata and I are so proud to sing on these old tunes that Tommy Duncan and Bob Wills put together years ago, and sure hope you enjoy hearing them. Yesterday brought love as sweet as clover, and every kiss was fresh as morning rain. But today you tell me it's all over, and my heart is burdened down with pain. Though it hurts me when you are so cold, dear, and to know our love's beyond repair. But I'll not cheapen what was pure as gold, dear. You don't love me, but I'll always care. Maybe God will teach me to forget you, and maybe time will wash the tears away. But I wonder, will someone still pet you when the years have turned your hair to gray? Darling, I am glad that I have known you, with every sorrow that we had to share. And in dreams, I guess I'll always own you. You don't love me, but I'll always care.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was You Don't Love Me, But I'll Always Care. Billy Mata, off of his album, this is Tommy Duncan, Volume 3, Leon Rausch on the vocal. And joining me right now is Billy Mata. Welcome back to Swingin' Country, Billy.
Well, thank you, Billy. It's a pleasure to be back again. Sorry, it's on sad circumstances, but
Absolutely.
But Leon Rausch, we became friends, and I know you've been friends with him a lot longer than I have. But and this is probably hitting you pretty much harder than all of us. But it's hitting all of us.
Oh, you bet it is.
Yeah, he was something special. He was a character, but he was definitely he would joke. We would joke around with each other a lot,
right?
And we'd pick on each other, just like musicians do. But that's a form of acceptance.
Absolutely.
And so I was honored to be accepted by that. So.
Well, I happen to know for a fact that he loved you personally, and that he loved your singing, and you were emulating his hero. I mean, I've never had a conversation with Leon that it didn't come up that Tommy Duncan was his hero.
His favorite, his hero. He told me that. Matter of fact, that was one of the things I did on my research initially when I decided to do the trilogy. He was one of the first people I talked to, because he was there when Tommy came back.
Right.
And he sang harmony with Tommy on a lot of songs. And so anyways, he just opened up like a storybook, like, let me tell you all this and this. He would just go on and on about Tommy this and Tommy that. He said, I looked up, I idolized that man. I followed him around like a puppy dog, he said. And, just to learn from him, And so, and me finally getting to meet Leon and seeing him at these festivals, I mean, I had the privilege of just being able to be backstage with him and on stage with him. So I had access to very much what Leon had with Tommy. I had the same with Leon. So
right. I remember the very first time you and I ever interviewed, when I first got in radio, out in my car after your performance in Turkey, Texas. We were discussing things, and I said the name Leon Rausch, and I'll never forget your response. Oh my God, I thought I knew a lot about Western swing till I met Leon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't. I knew a lot about it. I didn't get to perform a lot of it because down here in South Texas, believe it or not, Western swing is not as prevalent as say the Ray Price or the Johnny Bush music.
Right.
And nothing wrong with that, because I play both. I play all those. But and everybody loves San Antonio Rose and Faded Love and Milk Cow Blues, but there's more to Western swing than those three songs.
Oh, you're not kidding.
There's a lot. Oh, man. Look, think of all the Cindy Walker tunes that she wrote for Bob Wills and Tommy Duncan and everybody, for that matter. Great songs with great stories.
Yes. Well, how would you sum up your final thoughts on Leon?
Well, that's the thing. Leon was very much like Tommy. Tommy could sing any song that was handed in front of him. So could Leon. Leon could croon you a song. He could blues you. He could sing the hoedowns. It's a hard thing to do, to be that versatile, because you have that kind of a catalog of music.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of bands today, a lot of singers that excel in one way of singing, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you can do everything,
it's special.
Like Leon, yeah, it's very special. And I learned a lot from Leon about that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to announce that you can see Billy Mata and Texas Tradition at the 32nd Annual Legends of Western Swing Music Festival in Wichita Falls, Texas. Check it all out, thelegendsofwesternswing.com. Well, unfortunately, Billy, we've ran out of time. I've got a lot of folks to visit with today, as you know, but I certainly thank you for being a part of this.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I'm honored to be that, and may God rest his soul and open his arms to him in heaven.
Amen.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Well, coming out of this, Billy, I'm about to play Keeper of My Heart. Again, off Billy Mata. This is Tommy Duncan, Volume 3.
Billy. Let's hear you sing, my boy.
If again you were just mine, the sun for me would always shine. Though fate had ruled that we must part,
yes, go on.
You're still the keeper of my heart. Each night, now down upon my knees, I pray that you remember me. And when we're many miles apart, you'll be the keeper of my heart. To guide your little footsteps back to me.
I hear you talking, my boy.
Without you, life's no good, you see. The treasured memories that burn, I keep and I will always yearn for the love that once was part. Oh, the keeper of my heart.
All right, we closed that one out with Keeper of My Heart, Billy Mata, Texas Tradition. This is Tommy Duncan, Volume 3, brought to you by I2I Records. You know, both Coby Carter and Billy Mata's music are available at I2I Records. That's the letter I, the number 2, the letter I. Also available, Dawn Anita, Gary Ash, Kathy Whitten, Tim Atwood, Will Bannister, Lorraine Chavana, Bob Corley, Chuck Cusimano, Steve Griggs, Joni Harms, Lisa Lane, Dennis Ledbetter, Richard Lynch, Bobby Marquez, Bob Marshall, Rick Norcross, DG Overby, and so many others. i2irecords.com. You can get your downloads and your CDs. Also by our good friends at Kssl Salsa Company, that was born right here in Slayton, Texas. You can find Kssl Salsa and your queso in all your major Texas supermarkets. You can find the salsas, gentle, original, hot, scorching habanero, roasted, chunky, garlic, medium and hot, and ghost pepper in Walmart and Sam's Clubs throughout the country. That's KYLITOS. Try it. I promise you are going to love it. Well, now let's hear from Erik Swanson and Shoot Low Sheriff. Try to get Erik on the phone with us.
Bring search from Texarkana to San Antonio. Head and shoulders above the rest, I stand alone. Chalked up with what I ate, I weigh in at 6'8". Darling, there ain't no doubt that I'm full grown. But you can't call me skinny, but don't call me fat, just because I wear this 15-gallon hat. Blame it on my Texas roots. I'm in size 13 boots. When you hear me coming, you know just where I'm at. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. For my plan, no other gal will do. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. Got big, big plans for loving you. They say it doesn't matter about the size, but I'm uniquely built to keep you satisfied. Well, you want a man that's tall, I'm the daddy that's got it all. With a big, big love for you, I just can't hide. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. For my plan, no other gal will do. I'm a big man with a big plan. I got big, big plans for loving you. Texans, it's well known. I ain't bragging when I say I hold my own. Well, you asked about my specs, got an inch, oh, big Tex. Texas is the place that I call home. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. For my plan, no other gal will do. And I'm a big man with a big plan. I got big, big plans for loving you. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. Before my plan, no other gal will do. 'Cause I'm a big man with a big plan. I got big, big plans for loving you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Man, Erik Swanson and Shoot Low Sheriff. And friends, I'm going to tell you something. I've been up next to Erik Swanson, and he is indeed a big man. Welcome back to the show, Big Man. How are you, Erik?
I'm doing great, Billy. Thanks. It's good to be back on the show.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a while since we had you on Swinging Country, and I seen an opportunity, and I seized it. I tell you, looking forward to the 32nd Annual Legends of Western Swing Music Festival out there in good old Wichita Falls, Texas at the Multipurpose Events Center. What are your thoughts on that event there, Erik?
Oh, well, we played out there several times. I think we've missed 2 years, but then it's so good to be back. Really appreciate Gloria Myers and her crew for having us out and including our brand of Western Swing in that festival. It's always an honor.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I haven't seen you with the whole band in a while, and that's too long. And I know you're playing on Thursday, June the 20th.
Yep.
And everybody needs to go check out the website, thelegendsofwesternswing.com, spelled out, thelegendsofwesternswing.com. And it's going to be a great show. They get to see y'all twice that day.
That's right.
Can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Well, Erik, today is my tribute to Leon Rausch, and I would like to ask your thoughts and remembrances and anything. Just open your heart in regards to Leon Rausch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes without saying, we were really sad to hear the news that Leon had passed. I had been aware of Leon and his contributions to Western swing for a long time. And I can't really say that I knew him very well, but I did have the honor of meeting him a couple of times through Wayne Glasson, who plays piano with us. Mm-hmm. And, Leon was just a total gentleman and always was really gracious and let us know that he appreciated what we were doing with our music and that he really liked it. And that, man, that really meant a lot to me.
Oh, absolutely.
You can imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's such a cool thing that you see in Western swing and traditional music like this, is you see the previous generations kind of encouraging the younger generations coming up and carrying on the traditions of this great music that we love. And he certainly did that, and I'll always appreciate that.
You bet. In fact, Leon and I had a private conversation, and he expressed to me how much he appreciated knowing that I was going to do my best to help keep the genre alive, and he said, always encourage the young people. Do what you can for the young people, And,
yeah, absolutely.
That's just pretty cool stuff. And again, folks, you want to catch Shoot Low Sheriff. Erik Swanson's the band leader in Wichita Falls, Texas. And Erik, we got anything coming up to look forward to in the way of recordings or anything?
Yeah, we need to get on that. We've kind of tossed around ideas for a new CD for a while. So our fiddle player, Dustin, he and his wife had their second baby recently, so he's been kind of out of pocket to a large degree, but looking forward to getting kind of back in the saddle here over the next couple of months. And, we need to get on it. We've got several songs that we're looking forward to recording and ideas about how we want to go about recording them. And so I look forward to getting something out.
All right, and I look forward to getting it.
Yeah, we'll get it to you first.
Thank you, Erik.
Yeah, thank you, Billy.
I've been riding along a dusty trail out beneath that big Texas sky, where my dreams are my companions. I'm riding down the canyons, living the western life. Dressed in tall tops and spurs, I'm my own chauffeur. My pony's made to ride, like a gay caballero in my big straw sombrero. I'm living the western life. Big city life ain't no life for me. I need to be out on my own. So pack me up and deliver me. Let me wander where the doggies roam. Keep your high-rise apartment, keep your fancy car. I'd never pay the price, 'cause while you're stuck inside, I'm free to ride, living the western life. Shooters by my side. I was made for action, but I'll find satisfaction living the western life. Big city life ain't no life for me. I need to be out on my own. So pack me up and deliver me. Let me wander where the doggies roam. Keep your high-rise apartment, keep your fancy cars. I'd never pay the price.
Thank you once again, Erik Swanson. Well, folks, that's also brought to you by our good friend Jackie Tenry, County Line Electric. Lighting up your life. Anything you need in Lubbock, Texas, Lubbock County, and immediate surrounding area, any electrical needs, residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, above ground, below ground, a rewiring or new wiring, a light switch, whatever your needs, you call my friend Jackie Tenry, 806-441-8854. They will light up your life. And also brought to you by Hometown Tire. My friend Justin Gregory is your manager in Sundown, Texas, located at 302 South Slaughter in Sundown. Give them a call, 806-229-2222. And Jake Gregory in Wolford, Texas. They're located at 839 Highway 6282, located next door to Mueller Steel Buildings. Their number is 806-781-0301, handling any and all tire needs for anything and your brake jobs. That's Hometown Tires, Sundown and Wolford. Okay, we're about to hear one now from the man we're paying tribute to, Mr. Leon Rausch. When we come back, hope to have Jody Nix with us.
The moon outside my window won't let me go to sleep. So in the dark I put these walking shoes upon my feet. It's been this way since things were said, words that led to more, footsteps to nowhere, I don't get past my door. Footsteps to nowhere, walking all around my room. Footsteps to nowhere, wondering about you. Walking and a thinking and a crying, wearing out both of my shoes. Footsteps to nowhere, how can I lose his blues? Night is slow in passing, and the dawn can't come too soon. Then I'll be brave and have the nerve to leave my lonely room. I'll roam the streets of this old town, streets we walked before. Footsteps to nowhere, till I can't walk. Footsteps to nowhere, walking all around my room. Footsteps to nowhere, wondering about you. Walking and a thinking and a crying, wearing out both of my shoes. Footsteps to nowhere, how can I lose these blues?
Okay, friends, that was Footsteps to Nowhere, Leon Rausch. And joining me right now is a fella that also recorded that song with an excellent version is none other than Mr. Jody Nix. Welcome back to Swingin' Country, Jody.
Thank you, Billy. Glad to be with you, but not under these circumstances.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, he was a very dear, special friend to anybody that ever really knew him.
You're right about that.
And I know you've known him for probably close or very close to 6 decades.
I met Leon in 1961. I was 9 years old, and he was playing bass in front of the band for Johnny Lee Wills. That's back when we used to work a lot of battle dances, my dad and them, way back. And that's when my first encounter with Leon.
And I'm sure in fact, I know there have been many, many more since, including that album we talked about on our last visit, the For the Last Time album that meant so much to you and to Leon both and everybody involved.
Oh, yes, sir. Of course, I've seen him a lot through the years and was always happy to be around him and enjoyed hearing him sing and tell the stories and the jokes. He was just a wonderful person, a great singer. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to say I'm going to miss him. I already miss him.
Sure. Well, I tell you what, Jody, he thought an awful lot of you. I know because I've had conversations with him, and you would come up in the conversation. And I also know that you were supposed to have presented him with an award last year at our mutual friend Joe Belinsky's annual birthday bash, but he actually just got out of the hospital maybe a couple hours before that event and was unable to attend.
Right. I remember that well, Billy.
I don't know exactly what it was going to be, but what was that award, Jody?
I think it was a Lifetime Achievement Award for him, and appreciation for all he'd done for Western swing music. And, he and Joe Belinsky were very close, too. They'd been friends for, almost all of Joe's life.
Right.
And that's what it was. Joe wanted to honor Leon, as we all did and all do.
Yes, absolutely. Well, would you like to impart any stories or anything before we get out of this visit? Maybe.
Well,
yeah.
When my dad passed away this coming August will be 34 years ago, Leon was one of the first to call me and our family to give his sympathy and condolences to me. And I'll never forget talking to him. I'll never forget the kindness he showed to me and our family at that sad time in our lives. And he sent flowers, the Texas Playboys did, and I'll never forget that.
Sure,
really.
Sure. Well, Jody, I tell you, like you said, we already miss him, but I know you're traveling right now, and unfortunately we got to cut this short, but I do want folks to know that they can see you on Thursday, June the 20th in Wichita Falls, Texas at the 32nd Annual Legends of Western Swing Music Festival in Wichita Falls. Check it out at thelegendsofwesternswing.com. Well, Jody, thank you so much for being on Swingin' Country. Sorry it was for these circumstances, but it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks for having me.
You know what I'm going to do, Jody? I'm going to go right out of this and go ahead and play your version of Footsteps to Nowhere that you got from Leon, because you did a knockout job on it, my friend.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
All right, here we go, folks.
The moon outside my window won't let me go to sleep. So in the dark I put these walking shoes upon my feet. It's been this way since things were said, words that led to more, footsteps to nowhere. I don't get past my door. Footsteps to nowhere, walking all around my room. Footsteps to nowhere, wondering about you. Walking and a-thinking and a-crying, wearing out both of my shoes. Footsteps to nowhere, how can I lose these blues? gets slow in passing and the dawn can't come too soon, then I'll be brave and have the nerve to leave my lonely room. I'll roam the streets of this old town, streets we walked before, footsteps to nowhere till I can't walk no more. Footsteps to nowhere, walking all around my room. Footsteps to nowhere, wondering about you. Walking and a-thinking and a-crying, wearing out both of my shoes. Footsteps to nowhere, how can I lose these blues? Since you're gone, dear, there's no use wearing disguise, 'cause I lost you like a bolt from the blue, but I didn't realize I started all of the quarrels, and I even brought tears to your eyes. My tables all turned, my castles burned, but I didn't realize. I can't brush off this old feeling, no, I tried oh so hard to forget, but try as I may to be happy, my days are so blue, filled with regret. So someday, sweetheart, think it over, when storm clouds are gray in the sky. I just didn't know that I needed you so, but I didn't realize. Of this old feeling, no, I tried oh so hard to forget, but try as I may to be happy, my days are so blue, filled with regret. So someday, sweetheart, think it over, when storm clouds are gray in the sky. I just didn't know that I needed you so, but I didn't realize. No, I didn't realize.
Okay, friends, that was Asleep at the Wheel with Leon Rausch, and a part of that recording was the great Jason Roberts, who is now joining me on this very special Leon Rausch tribute. Howdy, Jason.
Hello there, my boy Billy. How are you?
Doing well. Sad circumstances. I always love having you on my show, but this is one I really didn't want to have to do.
Well, I understand, and I'm with you on that one. And you know, unfortunately, things like this are just a part of life, an unfortunate part of life.
Absolutely. That's just one of the facts of life, isn't it?
Well, it is, and when it comes right down to it, I guess we're all bound for it, and it's just good to be thankful for the time that we have with each other, and to remember what was good, and just be happy about what we have, I think.
Amen. Now, on that note, Jason, would you like to reflect a story or your own personal thoughts?
Well, I tell you, Billy, what can be said about Leon Rausch? Everybody, of course, knows what a gifted, talented singer he was, which I think is probably one of the first things that always endeared him to people. But I can tell you that I felt and feel really fortunate and blessed to have become friends with the man over the years. Mm-hmm. And, we talk a couple of times a week, and I tell you, what really hits home for me is that there are certain people that come through this old world that, and they're kind of few and far between, but Leon Rausch was the kind of person that every time I was around him, he made me want to be better, just a better human being. He was obviously a kind man, but he was also just so honest. When it came to anything good, bad, or indifferent, it was just blatant honesty, and that, to me, that is an excellent quality for a human being.
I agree.
And he had it, and he'd tell it like it is, like I said, whether it was good or whether it was bad, and did it in a way that, that made people want to follow him, and
sure.
didn't make hurt people's feelings, and he was obviously funny, but it's that, to me, that was kind of his most endearing quality, was just the honesty that he possessed, and that came through in his music, in his singing. I believe every time he sang, I believe every word he sang,
Yes.
So.
And I'd like to add something, if I may, Jason. Last year, when he was inducted in long overdue into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame, and you were there backing him, and the torch was turned over and had his blessing, that's got to stand out as one of the most special nights of your life.
Well, it absolutely does, and I waded through that whole event with a big lump in my throat, because, of course, for the past 40 years or ever how long, Leon has led Bob Wills' Texas Playboys, and just to get the blessing of the man for us to pick up and run with the ball, and carry the torch into the future was definitely special. And there was a big piece of me that didn't really feel worthy, to tell you the honest truth, because guys like Leon Rausch, leave a big footprint,
Yes, they do. But you know what? I know for a fact that it did indeed have his blessing.
Well, it did, and he was the first one to call me about the whole situation, and then later on I had talked to the Bob Wills family, to Carolyn and Diane and Andrea, and it all went off without a hitch and a smooth transition. But I can tell you right now that getting Leon Rausch's blessing just kind of made it seem like the right thing to do for everybody.
Yes, sir.
And so that I can never repay the guy for many things that he's done for me over the years, and that's one of them. So. Amen.
Well, I do want to let folks know that they can catch you at the 32nd Annual Legends of Western Swing Music Festival in Wichita Falls, Texas, at the Multipurpose Event Center. You'll be there on Saturday, June the 22nd, along with Jeff Woolsey and the Dancehall Kings and Bobby Flores and the Yellow Rose Band. Jason, unfortunately, we've ran out of time, but thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to come out of this with another one off that album, home, and you were a part of it with Sleep at the Wheel and Leon Rausch, Sugar Moon.
Amen. Thank you for your time, Billy, and God bless y'all, and God bless Leon Rausch.
Amen.
When it's sugarcane time, along around about June, I'll be walking with sugar neath the old sugar moon. I'm gonna drop her a line to expect me soon. Say I'm craving some sugar neath the old sugar moon. But I can see her right now. She'll get the calendar down, scratch a circle around the day we're altar bound. When it's sugarcane time, along around about June, I'll be walking with sugar neath the old sugar moon. Sugar moon shines along around about June. Wedding bells will be chiming neath the old sugar moon. All the kisses I've missed, I'll be getting them soon. Them kisses from sugar neath the old sugar moon. Well, I'll be dreaming sweet dreams of all the loving I'll get till I get back with my pet. Oh Lordy, how I will fret when it's sugarcane time along around about June. I'll be walking with sugar neath the old sugar moon. Calendar down and scratch a circle around the day we're altar bound. When it's sugarcane time along around about June, I'll be walking with sugar neath that old sugar moon.
Well, friends, if you were not at the Coyote Country Store last Saturday night for Mo Bandy and the Americana Band, I'm sorry for you, my friend. Wow, what an incredible show. I tell you what, Mo Bandy is better than ever. Will Bannister and the Modern Day Ramblers kept that dance floor full as well. It was a wonderful time and a beautiful full moon to boot. Now it's time to get ready for the Bellamy Brothers coming up 3 weeks from tonight at the Coyote Country Store. You can look it all up online at outhousetickets.com. June the 15th, the Bellamy Brothers. What an incredible show this is going to be. And so many great shows coming up at the Coyote Country Store. You got David Ball on July the 20th, the Texas Swing Spectacular August 17th, Texas Dance Hall legend Johnny Bush and the Bandoleros and Tony Booth September the 7th, and Mickey Gilley and Johnny Lee October 12th. Keep up with them on Facebook, online, OuthouseTickets.com. Call Becky Justice, 806-756-4330. Tell her you heard about it on KSSL and Billy Bowles Swinging Country. Well, now we're going to have a visit with Bill Mack, legendary broadcaster, singer, songwriter, the old midnight cowboy himself. And immediately following that is going to be something very historic. The day that Bob Wills died, May the 13th, 1975, I'm going to play you a little bit of interview from Jimmy Stewart, the disc jockey there at WBAP, in this particular show with Leon Rausch. And they're visiting exactly 44 years and 1 day prior to the death of Leon Rausch, because Leon passed away the 14th of May, just last week. And tell you what, enjoy this, my friends. History. Well, friends, I want to welcome back one of my heroes to swinging country right now, the living legend, Academy of Western Artists Living Legend Award winner, Mr. Bill Mack. Bill, welcome back to swinging country.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you, and thank you for allowing me to be with you.
Well, I tell you what, I knew that you knew Leon Rausch for many, many, many years and knew him well, and today's show is a tribute to the life and music of Leon Rausch, a celebration of his life. Man, I want to let you have the mic and open up your heart and memories.
Well, Leon was as good a friend as I have, or had, I should say. And of course, the friendship will always live on in my heart and my memories. But he was also one of the most talented, appreciative individuals I have ever known in or out of show business. He lived in Fort Worth, as you know, and he would call me regularly, or I'd call him regularly, and we'd just check up and discuss things. He's going to be sorely missed by so many.
Oh, you're not kidding. And do you remember approximately when y'all met and became acquainted?
Oh, man, over 50 years ago, way over 50 years ago. I met him when he was still working with Johnny Lee Wills.
And that was, it's quite a ways back. Well, actually, it would have been over 60, because think about it, Bill. For 60 years, since St. Patrick's Day 1958, for all intents and purposes, the voice of the Texas Playboys has been Leon Rausch. And that was St. Patrick's Day 1958. And
yes, speaking of St. Patrick's Day, he appeared many times with me and the band. He was part of the band in Shamrock, Texas for St. Patrick's Day. We made a lot of appearances together. Our friendship goes back over 60 years, then. Bob Will said something. You mentioned Bob. Bob mentioned one time to me, he said, there are many Western swing singers. And, of course, he had Tommy Duncan with him,
Sure.
But he said, then there's Leon Rausch. And Bob said, there's no one who captures a Western swing song or a country song any better than Leon.
And I could not agree more. When Keith Coleman passed away, Bill, he made the statement that every living fiddle player just took a step up the ladder.
Yeah.
And I feel like every Western swing singer just took a giant step up the ladder.
I agree.
Well, Bill, anything you would like to say in closing regarding Leon Rausch?
Well, he had a great sense of humor. Right up to when he was ailing, and of course, I knew he was going through a tough time because I talked with Bonda, his wife. She called me one day before we lost him and said, Leon is rapidly going. And but I was still shocked when I got the news. I wasn't prepared for it because, without being too repetitious, he was not only one of the greatest singers we've ever known. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet, but he was one of my dearest friends, and we'll miss Leon Rausch.
Yes, sir, we surely will. Well, Bill Mack, I can't thank you enough for joining me. Next time, let's make certain it's under more happy conditions. But your input and your thoughts and your knowledge are always so appreciated right here on Swingin' Country.
Keep it swinging, Billy. You're doing a great job, and I'm proud of you, pal.
Well, thank you, my friend. That means a whole lot coming from you.
Who could really tell the story on Bob Wills? A light-hearted man, made people feel great through a time when they really needed something to make them feel great. He had a pretty hard life of his own, but we have one right here in the studio to tell us quite a bit about Brother Bob, the vocalist that replaced the late Tommy Duncan, none other than Leon Rausch. Leon, it's good to have you here.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm sorry about the circumstances that bring us together again, but
yeah, well, sometimes it takes something like this to get us together.
That's the truth, and it's a shame, but it's the truth.
It's good to see you anyway, and I'm glad to be here.
You're looking fit.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
We've been doing a little history here on your old boss,
I've been
Brother Bob. And, of course, we've got untold records that Leon Rausch cut with Bob Wills and Texas Playboys.
Well,
when did you first start with him?
I started with him in '58. At the tender age of 30 years old, I decided that I was going to hit the road. So I went with the best while I was at it.
May as well.
I had a chance to go with him.
Where did you start? And what town?
At Tulsa.
At Tulsa.
And at that time, I was working in a glass shop up at Tulsa and playing a TV show once a week with Bob's brother, Johnny Lee. And that's how it comes to get together. Johnny Lee recommended me. He'd never heard me sing. Bob hadn't. So we happened to play a date in Oklahoma City at the same, just up the street from where Bob was playing, so I was supposed to go down and talk to Bob before we went to work. So he said, well, can you go with us on this trip? And I said, well, Bob, I'd like to give this man about a week's notice at least. If I'm going to go to work, he wanted me to get on the bus and go that night. And I said, well, I wish I could make that, but I've got to give this man some notice. They was going to California. And I replaced, not to just argue with your story about it, but it was Glenn Duncan who I replaced, Tommy's brother. But that's not neither here nor there, but that was the guy I replaced.
You're the final word, huh?
Yeah, well, I would replace Glenn Duncan. And talk about a coincidence, we just cut an album yesterday with Glenn Duncan here in town, a tribute to Tommy Duncan. And it came off real well, and I couldn't think of a closer coincidence than all these things seem to fall right in together, you know, and about Bob and Tommy and so forth, and it's got me to thinking a whole lot today.
Just a very few years, it's all...
That's right.
It's all happened.
And this all sprung up, and I noticed that one of the records you played a while ago was off the Together Again album, and
right.
And I was telling you I played rhythm guitar on it.
This is something I'd like to mention for folks who don't know, that we have Leon Rausch recordings as vocalist. We have Tommy Duncan recordings as vocalist with Leon Rausch guitarist.
Yeah, right.
So he's been with him for years and years on many different sessions.
And, of course, when they started they had this Together Again thing in 1960. They had a period there about 11 or 12 years where they went their separate ways and figured they could, you know, on their own would do better, I guess, business-wise or whatever. But they decided to get back together, and the first thing they wanted to do was make a record, which I'm glad they did, because I got to be part of it. I'm real proud I got to be on it.
I don't believe it's possible to make enough of an effort, and certainly not in an hour, and our hour is about to come to a close. Bob Wills spent his life making people laugh, making them happy, and we have, for that reason, not dwelt on the sad aspect of this occasion, Bob's having passed this morning. I want to thank Leon Rausch, one of the Texas Playboys, and vocalist for many, many years with Bob Wills, for coming in tonight.
Well, thank you for having me, Junior. I appreciate you.
And the insight, of course, the first part of the show, I gathered material from album covers and books, things like that, and here from the man himself, passed on through Leon and me, some of those were wrong. So it's very interesting.
Well, it's awful easy to get some of those things crossways, but I think all in all, you did a swell job with it.
I appreciate that. I remember one time, I think it was in 1973, first and only time I've ever met Bob Wills was at the Merle Haggard show in Fort Worth. I was backstage waiting to go on. I saw this big white 10-gallon hat. My man was in a wheelchair. And, of course, not having been known all my life for having the best of manners, I just barged right over. I wanted to meet him.
He wouldn't mind. He had a million friends, and he's wanting to make a million more, too.
Mr. Wills, I'm Jimmy Stewart, WBAP. He says, I know, son, I listened to you.
Yeah.
Golly,
he did, too.
Time stopped when he said that.
I've never been to the house in my life that radio wasn't on WBAP.
He died this morning in Fort Worth, Texas, and he's being taken right now to Tulsa, Oklahoma, for burial.
Well, again, friends, that was Jimmy Stewart, the disc jockey, WBAP, interviewing with Leon Rausch on May the 13th, 1975, the day that Bob Wills passed away. 44 years and 1 day later, Leon Rausch would pass away this past Tuesday, the 14th. And I'm going to play for you now his last radio interview, which happened to be with me here on Swingin' Country. And he really wanted to do this interview. You can hear this sound, this noise. Folks were wondering what that noise was the first time this aired back in February. It's Leon fighting for air. And thank God he no longer has to fight for air. But once he got to talking, it smoothed out. Enjoy this, his last interview that he truly wanted to do because of this album done in his tribute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard It's a Good Day, Leon Rausch with Asleep at the Wheel, Footsteps to Nowhere, Leon Rausch, and You're the Only Star in My Blue Heaven from back in the days with Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. And joining me right now on the phone is Leon Rausch. Good morning, Leon.
Hi, Billy. Hey, it's good to talk to you. I just was wondering when you was going to call.
Been waiting for me, huh? Well, I tell you what, I'm excited about this. We're surprising Tommy Thomsen and Brady Bowen and Gil Prather and everybody else with this visit with you today.
Well, good. I'm glad to be able to talk to them, and I guess it's a surprise to them. They probably didn't even expect it, but
right.
Anyway,
they're not here yet. We're going to surprise them with this in the recording, but wow, you know, you must be feeling really pretty special with this great album that Tommy Thomsen has done as a tribute to you.
Well, I was just surprised. He played it for me, and darned if I didn't think it's one of our old records or something. He laughed. He said, "No, that's me." So I guess we sing something alike. I was real tickled about that.
Well, I tell you, his love for you and for Bob Wills' music certainly shines through, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it did. And it's a unique type of music, and not a lot of everybody could you know, to sing it. But maybe nobody wants to, but Tommy did, and I'm glad he did.
Yes, sir. Well, Leon, I haven't had a chance to talk to you on air since your induction into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame, but I certainly want to, while I have you on the phone, congratulate you for that outstanding, long overdue honor.
Oh, well, thank you, Billy. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your efforts out there and all your fine listeners and your friends that listen to you every day.
Well, I tell you what, the show is growing, and there's always going to be Leon Rausch on there, and I would like for you right now to just say whatever you would like to say for Tommy Thomsen and all the great guys that was on this album, like Jason Roberts and Tony Ramsey, Albert Talley, John Jones, Larry Reed, Wayne Glasson, Gil Prather, Brady Bowen, everybody.
That's right. Well, you know, you used a couple of guys that I had on my band years and years ago. And Albert Talley started with us way back in, the 60s. Now, that's been a long time, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Albert Talley played still with me. In fact, we played some stuff together with Bob Wills and recorded in Nashville, and we had a great time down there, and I recorded
with a lot of these old guys, and a lot of them that's still something's not around anymore. But I really think of every day. I think of how some of the times we had, and some of the little records we did. Some of the stuff was pretty good, I thought.
Oh, absolutely.
But and Larry Reed's been playing the horn with me for way back when I worked at the Stagecoach Inn. I worked at Fort Worth, and was on the road with me some too. And so we go way back. These guys that plays this kind of music.
Yes, sir.
And we enjoyed every bit of it, and we enjoy each other's company, and we're great friends, and we love each other very much.
Absolutely. And back to this album, Timeless Treasures for a Living Legend, a tribute to Leon Rausch. What did you think of the song selections that Tommy and Brady came up with?
Well, he sure did dig back and get some of the old stuff here. Some of that stuff that Bob done back in the 50s. There's nobody ever touched him, I don't think, since. But I'm glad he did, and stuff like I'm looking here. I'm laughing. I think like Carter with you, and oh man, let's see, End of the Line. Oh, that's old Johnny Gimbel's old tune, and he did all that stuff. And of course, Yearning, he used to sing that, and he sung that real nice. Bob did, Bob Wills. And I got a big kick out of that. And of course, Heart to Heart Talk was something I've kind of seen kind of special because I got to sing on record with Tommy Duncan. And Tommy Duncan was one of my big heroes.
Oh, I know. I've never talked to you that you haven't brought that fact up.
Oh, yeah. Tommy Duncan, one of my big heroes. I've got a lot of heroes, and still yet some of them living, some of them not. But Tommy, he taught me a lot, and in the studio we worked together, and I was tickled to death. You know that tune "Heart to Heart Talk" was number 3 1 week in the country.
Wow!
"Heart to Heart Talk" was quite a record. Yes. I guess it was called what you call a hit.
and written by the late great Lee Ross, I believe.
Yeah, right. That was Lee Ross's song, and Lee Ross worked with Bob for a long time, and he was a disc jockey, and they went back to work at radio in California out there, and that's the last time I heard from him. And I don't guess he's around anymore, but he's from over there in Riverside, I think.
Right, he passed away back in the 90s with brain cancer.
Oh, did he? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I really didn't know when it was. I didn't think he was with us anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, he was a great talent, and he sung good. I thought he sung great. He had a unique voice.
Yes. Well, Leon, I'm going to have to cut it short, unfortunately. We got a lot of stuff to put in today, and a lot of music, a lot of interviews, and I did want to touch base with you and let you give your message to Tommy and all the guys that played on this.
I want to congratulate each and every one of them that done a great job on that record. I've listened to it again this morning, the whole thing, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And they all played great, and I was real proud of them. And this album is very special to me. Tommy Thomsen done a great job with this stuff here, and some of it I sung. In fact, I guess about 2/3 of them I sung on record, and he did some of the stuff that Tommy Duncan done, some of the Bob done, and then of course Joe Andrews done a laugh when I think on it. No, who done How I Laughed Till I Cry Over You? Anyway, one of the guys in California. But anyway, he had so many people, it's hard to keep track of all of them.
Right.
But I would say all of them is my heroes, and I enjoyed that album very, very much.
Good deal. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, Leon. I'm going to come out of this visit with you and spin our first world radio premiere from this brand new album.
All right.
And I'm going to start, and this is going to be Sitting on Top of the World, because after this, I know Tommy Thomsen is sitting on top of the world.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Good job, Tommy.
All the
summer and all the fall, just trying to find my little all in all. Well, now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Never had one girl at a time. I always had 7, 8, or 9. Well, now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Was in the springtime, one sunny day. That's when you loved me and ran away. Well, now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. You'd see me stealing, don't tell on me, just stealing back to my used to be. Well, now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Honey, babe, was after school. Remember, darling, we broke the rules. Well, now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world.
Search my heart, keep what you find. Our love is gone, but you're still mine. Love's treasures all are here within, and all my golden dreams of you will never end. Skies that are blue
me seem gray. I see no sunshine that will drive the clouds away. I'll lock my heart, there'll never be another love, 'cause now I've thrown away the key. Skies that are blue to me seem gray. I see no sunshine that will drive the clouds away. I'll lock my heart, there'll never be another love, 'cause now I've thrown away the key. Another love, 'cause now I've thrown away the key.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Search My Heart. Beautiful song from Brady Bowen Swing Country featuring Leon Rausch on the vocal. And joining me right now is someone that has been a very dear friend of Leon Rausch for many years. Welcome back to Swinging Country, Brady Bowen. I just wish it were under different circumstances.
Hello, Billy B. How are you today?
Doing pretty well, doing pretty well.
Well, glad to be on the show again.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, it's under less than favorable circumstances and everything, but I chose that song because I told you on the phone whenever you and I were discussing this visit that it just really showed off his voice, his vocal range. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, well, that song was done in about the middle 50s on the Leon McCullough band, Cimarron Boys, and Jimmy Hall wrote that, and he was a fiddle player and singer for McCullough. And Leon Rausch told me that he always liked that song and never did ever sing it. And I said, well, this album right here would be a good place to put it. And he did a great job on it, of course. And I was real proud to have it on that record because it's obscure and there hadn't been done a whole lot. And I think Leon Rausch, of course, did a great job on it.
Absolutely, but he did on anything he sang, Brady.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Anything he did, it was an improvement over what you had.
Well, that's one way to put it for sure. I know your heart's heavy because you were very, very close to him, but would you like to share your thoughts or some stories or something?
Oh, I've got a lot of great memories of Leon and Tommy, and I can just keep on naming more and more of the players and people that were in that era. Of course, I was 40 years younger than most of them.
Right.
But thank God that they liked me well enough to let me participate in their music and stuff. And of course, it's just been wonderful. Of course, I'm really a Western swing fan, and they were it. They were it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just proud to be around all those guys. I just loved them all.
Absolutely. And I know that you've been in very close contact with Leon and for a long time, but in recent months, how can you express the loss to yourself personally, Brady?
Well, it's hard to take, you know. It's just like you're losing your grandparents or something, you know. It's just something you never get back. But got a lot of really good memories of somebody that you thought a lot of.
Amen.
It'll last in your soul forever, you know.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And you're doing a wonderful job, Brady, of carrying on Western Swing and recording great Western Swing, and we certainly appreciate you and everything that you do here at Swingin' Country.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been pretty hard-headed about maybe there's some other kinds of music that I could have done that would have been more profitable to me, but my heart is in Western Swing, and I want to keep it alive. And I don't mean to do the same old 7 or 8 songs that everybody does. I want to do a whole lot of different kinds of stuff, and I think it's going over okay, you know. I mean, it's not a gangbusters or anything, I know that, but I know a lot of people are really appreciate it, and I appreciate them for liking it.
Amen. Well, I tell you what, Brady, coming out of this, I'm going to play Leon's, or actually it's your version of Maiden's Prayer with Leon on the vocal.
Well, that was a very authentic Western Swing cut of that song, and that was on my volume 5, and I guess that was done 10 years ago, or at least maybe 11 years ago. We had Bobby Kofer and Billy Dozier and Tommy Allsup and everybody. Well, anyway, Bobby Boatwright also played fiddle with me on this, and it's a great cut of it. It's very authentic, you know. Leon told me several times that he thought that was the best, one of the best cuts of Maiden's Prayer he ever did.
Wow.
I always thought that was a very big compliment.
No kidding. No kidding.
But it is very authentic, and it's real, you know, Bob Wills type swing version, done in newer age, with, you know, in a good studio. So I hope people like it.
All right, here it is now, folks. Maiden's Prayer, Brady Bowen Swing Country, Leon Rausch on the vocal.
Shadows fine there 'neath the stars, a maiden so fair divine, the moon on high seems to see her there. In her eyes is a light shining ever so bright as she whispers a silent prayer. Every word reveals her empty apart. Lonely there she kneels and tells the stars above. In her arms he belongs, in her prayer is a song, an unending song of love. That holds them so far apart. Lonely there she kneels and tells the stars above. In her arms he belongs, in her prayer is a song, an unending song of love.
Well, friends, Leon Rausch and I have been friends since 1976. Now, I had seen him at least a couple of times prior to that. I remember one distinctly when they first put Playboys band back together right after Bob's death at the Cotillion Ballroom in Wichita, Kansas. But in 1976, I actually became friends, or I had my first real solid visit with Leon and a good talk, and he asked for my address. Not really sure why, but I gave him my address, and believe it or not, friends, for years, every time I would see Leon Rausch at any event or the Texas Playboys, he would send me a letter. Now, keep in mind, this is before internet and Facebook and all this. He would send me a letter in the mail. Great to see you. Good to see you again. Thanks for your support and stuff like that. Now, he's the only artist I've ever met that did that on a regular basis. And he did it every single time. Also, just a few years back, I don't remember the exact year, but it was at Bob Wills Day, Turkey, Texas. I went up to him, spoke, and he said, "Hey, come go with me." So we went to his car where we'd be away from the crowd, and he wanted to have a visit. And two things in particular that he wanted to visit about. One was for thanking me for my involvement with the Academy of Western Artists, where he had just a month before received the coveted Lifetime Achievement Award from the AWA. And the second thing he really wanted to stress upon me was that he appreciated what I do with swinging country to help keep Western swing alive. And he asked me to please never let this music die. He also encouraged me to keep the young folks involved and to always promote these young folks to keep it going, because he wanted it to live from now on. And that's what I attempt to do here at Swingin' Country each and every week with traditional country and Western swing. So we're going to end today's show with Leon Rausch, the voice of the Texas Playboys and, quite frankly, the voice of Western swing.
A going away party, a party for a dream of mine. So put me somewhere off in a corner with a glass and bottle of your party wine. Don't worry, it won't be a loud party. I feel
It's just a sad going away party for a dream I'm telling goodbye. Just as sad going away party for a dream I'm telling goodbye.
Howdy, friends. This is Leon Rausch with the Texas Playboys. Stay tuned to Billy Bowles. He is my favorite. I can hear him from here.
Within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antonio, where in dreams I live with a memory beneath the stars all alone. Now it was there I found beside the Alamo enchantment strings as it blew up above a moonlit path that only she would know. Still hear my broken song of love. Moon in all your splendor, know only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit path by the Alamo and rose, my rose of San Antone. Splendor, know only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own broken song. Empty words I know still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit path by the Alamo and rose, my rose of San Antone. As I look at the letters that you wrote to me, it's you that I am thinking of. As I read the lines that to me were so sweet, I remember our faded love. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. With every heartbeat I still think of you and remember our faded love. As I think of the past and all the pleasures we had, as I watch the mating of the dove, it was in the springtime when we said goodbye. I remember our faded love. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. And with every heartbeat I still think of you and remember our faded love. Say, folks, this is Leon Rausch with the Texas Playboys. I might ask you to do me a favor this morning. Would you keep listening to Billy Bowles' Swinging Country, because it's my favorite show of all of them. So stay tuned. was a time when I thought of no other, and we sang our old love's refrain. Our hearts beat as one as we had our fun, but time changes everything. When you left me, my poor old heart was broken, and our romance seemed all in vain. But the dark clouds are gone and there's blue skies again, 'cause time changes everything. Can't change the name of an old song, rearrange it and make it swing. I thought nothing could stop me from loving you, but time changes everything.
Time has passed and I have forgot you. Mother Nature does wonderful things. Yes, it is true for me and for you, 'cause time changes everything.
So good luck to you, may God bless you. And I can't say I won't love again. So you go your way and now I'll go mine, 'cause time has changed everything. Oh, well, I'm tired and so weary, but I must toil on till the Lord comes to call me away. Where the morning is bright and the Lamb is the light, and the night is as fair as the day. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There will be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray there be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble that I see. There will be peace in the valley for me. There the bear will be gentle, and the wolf will be tame, and the lion shall lay down by the lamb, and the beast from the wild will be led by a child, and I'll be changed from this creature that I am. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There will be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble I see. There will be peace in the valley for me. There will be peace in the valley
Well, friends, there you have it. His music will live absolutely forever. Hope you've enjoyed this tribute to Leon Rausch. If you're new to his music, I encourage you to look him up and listen to more, because there'll never be another one quite like him, I guarantee you. We love you, appreciate you listening, wherever and however you're listening. Till next time, may God bless you and yours. Keep swinging country, y'all. Adios.